Hello, good evening or good afternoon to all of you. Today we'll try to discuss about the virtual blogs. I'm Dr. Shobha Rani, working as a professor in the Department of CSE, RMDEC. Okay, this virtual box is nothing but it is very important topic under the cloud computing because we are making it as called as a, just like your virtual machine. We are making it as a virtual box, and it is very powerful, and it has been given it as some names called as it has been manufactured as a AMD 64 or Intel 64 or x86. It actually runs the guest virtual machine. For the virtual machine to run normally, we'll try to call it as a virtual box is the software, and it is always, it is extremely good, and it is extremely good performer, and it is extremely all the salient features it has got for the enterprise consumers. Okay, so all the general public license and all we have to get it by making use of this freely available as a open source software under the terms of GNU is nothing but under the you have some MOEs where the general public license you have to get it. What is meant by how the virtual machine will be? An Oracle virtual machine virtual box will look like this: virtual box GUI, that is graphical user interface, and virtual box manage, and then the web service APIs, application programming interfaces you will have, and then the virtual box you have virtualization engine is provided. Okay, so what you will have the you have the GUIs that are provided, you will have the mocks that will manage, you will have the web services, that is API, application programming interfaces will be connected such that for your virtualization engine to communicate between the virtual box as well as with the all types of the services manages and all. Okay, what it is nothing but the virtual box normally it runs in Windows, Linux, Macintosh, Solaris, and host. Everywhere we are making use of the virtual box software wherever the virtual machines are there. It is a simple software that has been developed, and you will be able to run on Windows, Linux, variants, and Solaris, where all these Solaris, Windows, and Linux are having the virtual machines. For that, you are calling it as a virtual guest machines architecture, and we have created a software called as a virtual box, etc. Okay, and it is not limited to to any of the windows. That's why Sun Solaris or Open Solaris it will be provided. Next one is a virtual box. This virtual box, how we are going to use a layered architecture, because it consists of set of you will have that Unix kernel modules has been created for the virtual machines, and few of the interfaces has been created for this one to manage as well as to take care of the guests and all. Okay, and it has been implemented in the kernel services and all. We will try to see the diagram for this one figure. This is nothing but the article virtual machine virtual box. How the management layer, how many it has got three parts. One is nothing but the web services API, that it does the interaction between the consumer or between the client through the web services will be provided for this one application programming interface. And then the command line interfaces, where you are going to for the programming you will have the GUI command line, or you will have the DOS command lines for the command line, and the console GUIs, they hear the graphical user interface as well as the CO, graphical user interface, and then the character user interface will be used. That is, character user interface is only the CUIs and the graphical user bit. So in the management layer, all these three layers will be there. That means you will be able to communicate by means of the virtual box will be present in the form of a GUIs, and the virtual machine virtual box will be present in the form of a CUIs, and to make this to communicate with the interfaces, the web services are provided. Next one is nothing but the Oracle virtual machine virtual box API layer, where with this will layer is the one which will make the communication between the it will act as an interface between the user and the systems. User and the systems, various types of the operating systems we are going to use. We are specified here as a virtual box and all. We have the Mac operating systems, we have Linux, Windows, Solaris operating system, and portability layers that has been given. Okay, So in the virtual box hypervision, we'll have the Windows, Linux, and all other devices has been given, and you have the virtual USBs that user USBs will be provided. Virtual disks has been provided. Virtual devices has been provided. Live migration and the resource monitoring, and then the RDB, the services servers will be provided. The migration from one part to migration from CUI to GUI, or GUI to CUI, or maybe from one operating system to the another operating systems will be also will done by means of the virtual box. And these are all monitor, or this resource person will provide all these violation, all this changing, moving from one migration to another migrations, it has been given. And you will have the server where you are going to do the services for these virtual boxes. These are all this called as a resource developer servers. We are going to provide resource developer providers. You are going to get it, and the virtual box hypervisions we have in the form of a kernel mode. It has been given. Next one is, what are all the advantages of the virtual box? Is nothing but the name itself will shows us. For the virtual machine is nothing but it is going to give the multiple services with only one system. That is nothing but the virtual machine. For the virtual machine, we are going to create a one software, and it is going to be created. It's as a virtual box, that is nothing but the multiple times the same system has been, the same software has been used for the multiple virtual machines. For the virtual is only that one. Okay, the infrastructures are structured different from the actual computer, and then the infrastructure software services as the interface between the software and the hardware, it has been developed. So the security benefits to running the virtual machines, for example, if you need to run an application of a questionable security, you can run it through the guest operating systems. Okay, so it will take care of the security purposes also for running the virtual. For example, there are security benefits to running the virtual machines. That means you cannot run a virtual box in the virtual machine. For that also you have to provide the security machine, and you need to run an application, and by making use of the security, you can run it in a guest operating systems. The disadvantage is what we have to do is, it is not that efficient for the real machines. It will be efficient for the less number of the memories, or the only a simple type of an operating systems. Just a simple operating system where the host will have the operating system for few for the few requirements or tasks. If you are using it, not for the huge tasks and all, we will not be able to do this one, because the virtual machines are running on the same host. Performance may be hindered if the computers is running on the lacks of sufficient power. Okay, the virtual machines are all running the same host, and then as well as the virtual boxes are running. You will have the lack of communication, lack of power that has been given. Okay, virtual machine can be identified with the weakness of the host machine. As an example, the process isolation is a feature usually employed by the operating systems. Thank you.